Welcome to Chapter 3, Physical Education Curriculum Models. The objectives for this podcast are to provide you with an overview of the various physical education models and to discuss the models report assignment. Curriculum models help us translate theory into practice. They give us a model, obviously, of how to teach physical education in a K through 12 setting. They give us generalized patterns for designing curricula. It's usually not in a pure form. Usually we have to add some things to it. It's just, again, it's a model. A model is a pattern for us to follow when we're designing a curriculum. There are various types of models, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. The thing about curriculum models, each one has a specific value orientation that's promoted in that model. So you should look at the model and determine if it meets your value orientation as you go through it when you're reading Chapter 2. You see if you can identify which specific value orientation is focused in that model. When selecting a model, you should answer the following questions. Does the model express a point of view about learning consistent with what I believe? If it doesn't, you probably shouldn't use it. If it does, you may want to select that model. Is this model suitable for the kind of program I have in mind? If not, don't use it. What about that model is suitable for the kind of program that you want to have? Does the model call for activities appropriate for my students? Are the activities age appropriate? Are they skill appropriate? Will they challenge your students or not challenge your students? Can I achieve the classroom organization and develop the materials called for in this model? Those of us who have taught, we know that management and organization take up a lot of time in classes, especially if you have a class of 40 or 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 students. You have to make sure that you can actually do the activities that the model is promoting. If you can't, there's no reason even to look at the model. Can I handle the problems that might arise by using this model? You need to really investigate to see if the model is appropriate for the school setting that you're at. In Chapter 3, they discuss 10 different models that are listed here on this PowerPoint slide. And I could go over each one of these because hopefully through the model report assignment we'll become more familiar with each one of these different models here. So with the model report, you need to select one of the physical education models that are described in Chapter 2 that you want to learn more about. So what that means is you need to read about each one of those models and which one seems most interesting to you. Which one did you answer most of yes, I would like to answer those questions in this slide here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different questions. Then when you write your report, you need to answer the questions stated in the syllabi about that model when you write your report. And generally speaking, you should become the expert in that model. People should come to you if they have questions about the model. You need to use 5 additional references outside of the textbook. Now, the references need to be peer-reviewed journal articles, textbooks, If you're going to use the internet sites, they need to be from professional organizations like NASP or AFERT, those type of internet sites, not people's opinions. If you've got questions about that, please contact me. Shoot me an email with a link to the internet site, and I'll tell you if it's a go, if it's good, if it's not good, and I'll tell you why. So when you reference your paper, when you write your paper, make sure that you provide in-text citations for your references and a reference page. Remember, you are not the expert in the, well, you're going to become the expert, sorry, but you should always provide supporting materials to support your ideals. This is a research paper. Majority of the material is going to come from other people. You should have a lot of references in your papers. Now, one of the models they talk about in Chapter 3 is the ABC model. I do not want you to select that model because we're going to talk about that in our class in detail. So do not select the ABC model. ABC stands for Achievement-Based Curriculum. On page 63, the authors say that it provides the how-to process for doing this. And the this in that on that page 63 means curriculum. And curriculum means teacher, school, and community philosophies plus the value orientation that each one of those individuals or groups have, plus any kind of state, federal, district framework, plus whatever model that you're going to use, plus much, much more, which we're going to talk about the much, much more. So we'll use the ABC model to do this, which is the curriculum, to develop curriculum. But I want you to see different curriculum models that are out there. So I think it's a good idea to have an understanding of those different curriculum models. So I hope you this will give you some understanding of what the assignment, the model report assignment is about.